Oh, hello. It's 19 after 7. We have Donal Logue and Raymond James, two fine actors in the TV show Terriers on FX, which is a great show. I watch it. I really like it. It's FX. FX is like, it's not really, you know, you don't get the big audiences that you get on some of the traditional networks, you know, like Rescue Me is another one that we
right,
on
great
FX
show.
and stuff. But it's a great show where these two guys play, you know, kind of creepy. Not creepy.
You're just saying that because you're looking at it sitting there right now. We look creepy right now, yeah.
Okay. Really adorable. Did I say creepy? I meant adorable, private eye guys. Well, like you're both ex-criminals in the show.
Well, he's an ex-cop in the show.
But we do
you're
kind
a
of
cop who
nefarious
is,
things.
well, you ran out. And I actually watched the show, so you can't trip me up here. Because you were a cop that drank too much, got thrown off the force. Right. Michael was, you were a criminal.
I was a criminal, yeah.
And then in one of the episodes I saw, your criminal buddy came back and threatened your wife.
That's right, yep.
Yeah.
That's great, man. Yeah.
Am I the first interview you've done on the tour? The
you know what's interesting is, I don't, and I had done that show Damages once.
Oh.
I was just a guest on the show, and it had crazy low ratings, kind of per FX show like ours. But it was, for some reason, more than any other job, just on the street. People were like, hey, you're in Damages. Not like the movies or whatever. And I always think, and maybe it's wishful thinking, that there's this tremendous disconnect between what people actually watch and, you know, the 428 older people who have boxes that only watch JAG and NCIS and whatever shows, you know, like, who watches JAG? I've never met a person in my life, you know, or whatever.
Well, it's like we used to talk about Jim Belushi, who, you know, made $100 million on shows I never met anybody who watched According to Jim either. But yeah, that's all those.
They're out there.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
They're all tuned into Hasselhoff's show.
Yeah. Hasselhoff's show with his daughter.
Yeah.
We're talking with Donal Logue and Raymond James. Donal, people have seen you in a lot of mainstream shows. ER, you were the, what were you, like an ambulance guy or something?
Yeah.
There was that, and then and you were on you were the MTV cab driver guy.
That's right, yeah.
And
Grounded for Life, which was a
Grounded
sitcom
for Life
for 5 years.
Yeah, you did that. And then you were in Blade. I think you had your head cut off by Wesley Snipes. Did you? I don't know.
I did at the very end. I had my arm cut off a number of times, and then finally he just did the head.
Now, when you were working with Wesley on Blade
and giving him tax advice,
and everybody on the set went back to their trailer and started doing their taxes.
Yeah.
Where was Wesley?
He missed
what? Dude, what? How does that happen? He was one of the biggest stars in Hollywood for a couple of weeks.
You just listened to one of those guys, you know, and it was interesting because I remember back in maybe right before that, in the mid-90s, it seemed like a lot of crew guys around LA at the time were like, you know, are you a slave man or a free man? Like, and you're like, ooh, this is going to be an interesting Waco conversation. And I'm not to say that there's some interesting points that are raised, but then it always comes around to the IRS is this weird da-da-da, and during World War II, and you're like, man, pay your taxes. Because this is a battle that no one wins, and they grind you.
All you have to do is say Al Capone.
Yeah.
Killed hundreds and hundreds of men, right? They never got him, and then they got him on tax evasion. I think it was Kevin Costner that got him. Or maybe that was just a movie.
I think you're thinking Kevin Costner comes up again. Did he do a Boston movie? Is that what you were saying?
Oh, when we were talking off the air?
Yeah.
Well, he was in that Oliver Stone movie where he didn't quite have the accent. He was the guy prosecuting the JFK. That was
that's right. Of course.
Yeah. But there was another one too, right? Where maybe not. What was the one about? I don't know. I'm talking about.
The best Boston movie was Friends of Eddie Coyle, I think.
Oh, that goes way back. Yeah, that was a good one.
That's an incredible Boston for people who love Boston movies. I think you have to.
So Donal was in Blade, which was a vampire movie. And Michael was in True Blood, right?
Yeah.
So there's a vampire coincidence? I don't think so.
Yeah.
They're drawn to each other.
And I had my head cut off in that too, which is
that's right, with a shovel.
With a shovel.
Oh, that's good.
God, what are the odds?
Oh
of that?
yeah! Oh my God!
Oh, now you recognize him?
No, I totally been trying to figure out where I saw him. Yeah.
Yeah, you got his
saw his
head
head
go
go
flying. Well, you know what? If you did a little show prep, Jim, you would have known this before
he had
you walked
a
in.
Cajun accent in that. Like it's kind of hard.
Give us a little of that accent right before the show.
Como se va, you share you. How you doing?
Yeah, there it is.
See, now Michael.
No, seriously, think of this, okay? By the way, Terriers, great show. It's FX. You have to look
it really
for
is a
little
good,
bit.
it's
a great
getting
show.
great critical
It's the best show
reviews.
ever,
Got a great
It's a great
plug
show.
by the Boston Globe and by a lot of kind of more erudite things, and people make it's hard to find. I don't know. It's hard to find viewers. One of the problems.
It's
is I
on
think-
demand. You don't even have to know when it's on. Just go to on demand.
Yeah, and Hulu or one of those things.
Yeah.
But people seem to be catching on in those kind of alternative ways.
Yeah.
Which
Well,
is
that's
fine.
how people don't watch traditional television like they used to.
Right.
Most
And
people.
never, and it's done, and it won't be back again.
Right. Now, so you guys are cast separately. You weren't like going as a team. You went.
We did go in as a team, but we kind of went in as a team because I was cast first, and they said, okay, great, let's start reading with everybody and get this cast together. And the first person who came in the next day was Michael, and he and I were friends from that show Life, where he had done a guest spot on Life, and we became friends. And at that point, it was kind of like it was a done deal.
But you were friends. Life was another show that I was one of the few people that watched. I really liked it. You know, the guy who gets in prison, then he gets out of prison, and he's a gazillionaire, but he's a cop.
Oh, right. Yeah, he's wrongfully in prison
really
for a
super hot Mexican.
No, she's Iranian.
Whatever she
Persian,
was.
yeah.
You had me watching it.
Sarah
Good thing I'm not on PBS. I would have been fired.
Oh, I love that show.
Yeah. Yeah.